Hi everyone, my name is Satvik Tonsepai, and along with my teammates Pranav, Arushi, Pradyum, and Manvika, we'll be presenting our project, the Intelligent Artifact Retrieval. Now imagine that you're standing at a museum and looking at an art piece, and you want to understand more about the art piece. You want to get understand the historical and cultural significance of it. You want to see more art pieces generated or created by that particular artist. Take out your phone and you look up the latest data sets for this particular art piece, and you notice that there are data sets, but they're so extensive. They have hundreds of thousands of data regarding that particular regarding that particular artifact, and it's really difficult to get the information that you really want. And let's say you look at the traditional tools or traditional tools that exist for this, but you notice that these also fall short because they don't understand the nuance relationship between the data. They're not able to get you exactly what you need. You're not able to backtrack and see why at that point in history that art piece was created. Now, this is where our idea originated, and we decided to develop a web application that would address all these issues and help users engage with these artifacts in more detail to help them understand this artifacts in more detail. Now our application will be able to give you multiple art pieces that were created by the same medium, and it'll also help you see more art pieces created by that particular artist and also see the cultural and historical significance of a particular art piece. And our user base is mostly going to be for scholars, researchers, and art enthusiasts who want to get deeper understanding of what exists in a museum. And we are really excited to share this with you today. Over to Manvika, who will be explaining the motivation behind our project.
The aim is to enable a precise, detailed access option for the data of artifacts for art lovers, students, and researchers that is missing within the concept of traditional or existing data retrieval systems. None of the existing tools support the understanding of historical reasons associated with an art piece. We will try to develop a tool that supports scholars in understanding the historical and cultural background associated with an art piece. The availability of tools that can enable users to get instant and useful information on the art pieces in the museum is lacking. We try to assist art lovers through technology in having an interactive experience at the museums. Our goal is to redefine the way that art is studied, appreciated, understood, and viewed.
Hello, this is Arushi Shah, and I would like to discuss the design and the approach. To build this solution, we adopted a structured approach. At the core lies the ontology layer, which organizes data from three museums and links historical, artistic, and descriptive attributes. The front end was built using React, offering an intuitive user experience for searching and exploring artifacts. The backend developed with Node.js manages API requests and connects to the ontology using SparkQL for querying. This architecture ensures seamless interaction between the user interface and the knowledge graph. Moving forward, I would like to talk about the ontology. Our ontology structures museum data into interconnected classes and properties. Key components include the classes such as the artwork, the artist, the medium, and the museum, which categorize the data. Then we have the object properties, which would be defining the relationship between entities like created by or has medium. Data properties, which store specific attributes such as the artist name or the creation date. The advanced features like functional and transitive properties enhance the ontology's depth. This structured representation enables meaningful data retrieval and insightful relationships across the data. Moving forward, Pradyum will be continuing the presentation.
So here's an overview of how our querying process works. The user selects an input such as artist or medium and enters a search query, for instance, Picasso. The backend constructs a SparkQL query based on this input. The query is executed in GraphDB's SparkQL endpoint. The results are parsed and formatted into JSON for the front end. Finally, the React.js interface dynamically displays the results, including titles, mediums, and dates. The workflow ensures users get accurate and actionable insight into the artifacts. This project was a team effort, and each member contributed to it significantly, as you can see on the slide. So, to sum it up, our project bridges the gap between traditional museum systems and modern, insightful tools for data exploration. We are excited about the potential impact of this platform in redefining how art is studied and appreciated. Next up, before ending this presentation, I would like Pranav to give a live demonstration of an application.
Hi guys, now I'm going to give the demonstration of our project that we have created. As you can see on the screen right now, we've got our GraphDB server that we are running locally on our computers present over here, and this is the repository we are running for our GraphDB server. So let's look into it. We have imported three files are triple that is related to artists, are triples that are related to our artwork, and we have also imported our out file to this. So this graph TV is where we have hosted the server um, for our querying and processing, where we'll be running our queries basically. And now let's move on to the application. As you can see, the application is already set up. We've got two terminals running, one for the front end and one for the back end. And let's get into the structure of our code. Our back end consists of a normal Node.js merge stack structure, which has node modules, package JSON that involves the dependencies, and node modules that involves the packages that we require to complete our project. Source files are where we mainly have most of our code that is necessary that we have used to build. Uh, we have got controllers, services, and routes to make our APIs. Uh, as you can see in our configuration file, we have used GraphDB and we are trying to hit this particular URL on my local computer. And we are using Axios to hit the localhost endpoint and to retrieve data and therefore help us use APIs. Now let's get into it. Our queries. As you can see, the queries are there in our service files. So we can begin with routes. We have four drop downs. So basically, as you will see later in the application, we have list of artists, department, medium, and country. These are the filters that we have decided we want to go with. And if we pick artists, it will provide us a list of artists. As you can see over here, uh, this is the controller method, and we go to the service method, and the service method, you can see that we have used a certain query so that we can get our get all the artists that are present in our database. As you can see here as well, we have handled the queries a little differently. We've used two different queries in this method, uh, depending on how we have set up our database. As you can see, similarly for countries being a filter, we've got query over here. Similarly for the medium being a filter, we've got our query at the top, and at the bottom we have for departments. So this would be the services or the queries that we'll be using for our drop down. Similarly, for our final list of artworks or artifacts, we will be using these queries uh, that will also be divided depending upon artists, departments, medium, and country, depending on what we select. And further explanation will be given to you when I move on to the application. So this is how our code is set up. in this repository is a backend. Then obviously there's a front end. The front end is a React application repository. As you can see over here, I've got my app.js, app.css that is for styling our application, and app.js that defines how we hit our API endpoints and receive data and how we use it in the front end of our application. Uh, Not getting too much into the specifics, we've also mentioned our OWL file and GraphDB files that we have uploaded on our server. Let's get into our application. See where our application is right here. So this is our application. We'll just refresh this. So by default, it's selected artists as something it wants to consider as a filter. So let's say we go for artist, then we go for any artist we want to select. So say we go for this one. And yeah, so these are the artworks of this particular artist present in our database. Uh, and these are the related fields. As you can see, we've got country, medium, how it was acquired, the museum it was present in, and well, uh, and so on. Then we would like to move on to maybe another artist. Let's go with this one. Okay, then we've got two art pieces here as well. It's part of fine arts, and this is what the title is. Then we've got Lawrence, that seems to be photography. Then we would like to move on to countries as a filter. So these are the countries. We could pick any country at the random. Let's say this. Okay, now we've got multiple artworks relating to it. So, and we've gotten these fields that are related to it as well. That is title of the artwork, country where it was built, that is our filter, and the department, and obviously the artist responsible for this. Then let's move on to departments. Departments, we've got contemporary art. So here it took a little longer to load because it had a lot more entries than our previous ones. So yeah, so this is a piece of artwork that is considered from the department contemporary art. Then we've got all of this. So yeah, this is under the art subsection. Let's say we go for this. I believe this would take a bit time as well. Yeah. So these are the artworks present for this particular department. And we can go for medium. Medium, let's pick a medium, say aluminum and cork. Yeah, so there's the shaper, turns out that is made out of it. I believe it's a very unique medium. At the artist book, we've got these artworks. Yeah, so this is our application, and our application is exactly as advertised by our project and our paper. And we've tried to fulfill as many expectations as we could relating to the application. Obviously, there is a lot more we would like to work on and to take our initial work ahead. This is only a brief overview of how this application works. Um, in the future, we are planning on adding a lot more features. So I think that is it for the demonstration. Thank you very much.